All right, so I'm Steven, this is Pat, this is Bradley, and we're working on naming zebras. The name's kind of ambiguous. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so basically we're working on a web app that allows different users to track symptoms over time for different rare diseases. The reason for this is because, on average, rare diseases go undiagnosed for about 7 to 8 years. And in that time, a lot of patients will usually get treated for a variety of different things that have nothing to do with their actual disease. And that kind of sucks. So a guy named Ed Fennell, he does a lot of advocating for a lot of things, came up with this idea. He has 2 granddaughters who have 2 separate rare diseases that are not genetic, and the odds of that happening are extremely slim. And so he wanted to do something about this. A lot of the issues when it comes to diagnosing rare diseases is that patients don't have a good way to keep track of their symptoms. Usually they just have a bunch of paperwork and tests that doctors give them that they don't understand and don't know what to do with. So right now we're using Ruby on Rails, Postgres as the backend, and Bootstrap to make it look all pretty. Currently working, we have a user account creation, authentication, and authorization. This all uses Devise, which is a gem for Ruby. Devise basically does everything all in one. Encrypts your passwords, stores them, has password retrieval. You can reset your password. You can reset your email, get an email sent to you about what your password is, and does everything pretty much all in one. It also allows you to log in with Google, Facebook, and a bunch of other things if you want to do that. The next step in what we're going to do is we need to generate a symptoms database. There's a standard right now for symptoms. Basically, instead of having a headache, you have like a localized pain in some region. We figured that it would be a lot easier to use already created standards for that sort of thing because we didn't want to generate our own. And also we need to create a user control panel to basically so they can input more background information about themselves. Right now it only asks you for your name, email, and password. Let's see. Oh, I have a demo. Okay, wonderful. Now, how do I get to that from here? Is that minimized? Or is that okay.
You've never used the function you went to before in your life?
I have, but not at this angle. Sorry, run this? Sure. Cool. Go here. Is that 3,000?
Yes.
Okay, boom. Homepage. Nice. Looks pretty. So right now, just have a basic homepage. If you want to sign up, didn't mean to right click that. If you want to sign up, you just click this. Click? No? Alright, this worked like a minute ago.
You're going down here and say that link switch.
Oh, I might already signed in. Yeah, that might be an issue. Yeah, I might have signed in before. If you want to sign up, there you go. Thanks, Boris. You're the best. You just put in all this information. It's really easy. It doesn't let you sign up if you don't fill out all the fields. It'll give you an error of why. Go back to the home page. If I want to sign in, go over here. Let's see. If I don't enter a password, it yells at me, so there's no password, etc. Usual stuff. Works pretty well. If I sign in, boom, now I have a sign out button, etc. It's really simple. It stores everything in a Postgres database. Works great. What? What happened? Anyway, so yeah, it works. You can have as many users as you want. You can't create an account with the same email. And yeah, so basically we're going to work on creating a control panel for that soon. We have a hackathon this Saturday. I know it kind of conflicts with the RCOS thing. It's not the same thing. It's in SUNY Albany. There's a lot of other people that are supposedly working on this, but they haven't spoken to me in a long time. So maybe they'll show up, maybe they won't. Maybe I'll just be in SUNY Albany by myself with Louis Ibanez. And yeah, that's about it. We go back here. We have a thanks to Louis, Dr. G, Morthy, Sean Sullivan, and all of you guys. And then if you have any questions, you can go ahead and ask me those now.
How are you better than WebMD?
WebMD doesn't let you store your symptoms. The whole point of this is that you can store your own symptoms localized for you, and you can kind of change them if you want. So if you have a child whose circumference of their head is a certain length on one day, you can enter a different circumference for the next week, and you can track that over time. That's good. That's a serious thing. And that's the whole point. Because right now, WebMD, yeah, you can put in a bunch of symptoms and find some bogus, like, solution to what disease you have. There's an app called Finding Zebras. That's kind of where the name comes from, because you can put in symptoms and it'll do a better job of telling you your disease than WebMD will. The thing is, they don't track your symptoms either. And so the whole point is that this is to keep it localized for patients so they know what their symptoms are. And you basically, the end result is that you'll be able to take all these symptoms, either present them to a physician or compare them to what a physician would diagnose for those symptoms, and maybe go see that physician.
Are any of the other services open source?
Finding Zebras has an API, so we're probably going to use that to some degree just to give a basic, like, this might be your disease. I haven't looked at their API yet because I haven't gotten it. Do that.
Yeah. Are you guys familiar with the Baby Notes project that Damien Austin?
That you guys are doing? Yes.
Okay. Just wondering.
Okay.
Because it's pretty similar. I was just wondering if you would.
I mean, this is supposed to be specific for rare diseases only. I mean, I suppose it could have application for any disease if you wanted it to, but this is going to be more geared toward that.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, we could always, talk. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, we're not working on it this semester, but if you're interested in talking about stuff, we have.
All right. Yeah. Sure.
If it doesn't work for common diseases, then I guess that does not already require patients to know that they have a rare disease, because I think that would be.
It's not that they know they have a rare disease. It's geared toward people that think they might have a rare disease. They've been to a bunch of doctors. They've gone to all these places, and they haven't found what's wrong with them. It's to take that 7 to 8 year average for diagnosing their rare disease and cut that down.
Okay. Just to be clear, did you say if you forgot your password, it emails it to you?
I did say that. I was wrong. If you forgot your password, it emails you a reset. Yeah. Yep, it emails it directly to you. Unencrypted. Totally. Any other questions? No? Wonderful. Awesome. Oh, my bad.
So what about like just all diseases and rare diseases? Because then you have all diseases, then you might have an early start in these symptoms, whereas if it's just for rare diseases.
I mean, it could totally be used for that. The only reason I'm saying it's geared toward rare diseases is because the guy that set all this up, he's mostly focused on it because of his granddaughters, and so that's where his entire mindset is. I'm sure in the end result, if this keeps going further, because I'm going to work on this probably next semester too, it'll be applicable to both. Gee.
Yeah, maybe just a little more background too. Some of you who were here this summer may remember when Ed came in and gave a talk late in the summer. You can also find that back on our the YouTube channel, I guess, to see some background information. But as these guys mentioned, the key is getting that like 7 to 8 year average down to something much smaller, so that there's actually time to do something about the diagnosis. I think he described in his talk, I want to say, he took all the various symptoms, and after a few hours of just digging through, I think that other Finding Zebras site came up with a list that actually matched what actually was wrong. So taking 7 to 8 years and getting it down to something, within a year, say, is kind of a major part of this major goal. And maybe one question for you guys too would be kind of what's the breakdown of kind of what you guys are each tackling at this stage?
Right now, Pat's working on learning Ruby on Rails. He's still in data structures right now, so it's kind of a challenge. Bradley and I are kind of just working on it together as we go, whenever we have free time.
So next step is, I know you have the interface.
Next step, yeah, we're going to kind of work on getting like a control panel so they can enter more background information. I didn't want to require all the information to start with when you make an account, because that's kind of daunting. You have a 27-page questionnaire that you have to fill out. And then really it's just parsing the XML document that has all of this information. Anything else?
Could like your doctor also help you fill out? So
That's like, when we had the hackathon, it was 7.5 hours of conceptualizing, which was absolutely brutal because only half the people there knew how to code. And near the end of that, we got to the point where we figured we might want to have user accounts and clinician accounts, to where you could like maybe interface with a clinician, or they could put symptoms in for you if they like had your account and there was like permission to it. So I mean, that's like more of a long-term thing right now, but definitely that's an idea.
Actually, now that you brought that up, don't you have to be HIPAA compliant then?
Compliancy is something we're worrying about as we go. There was a lot of talk about regulations and what we couldn't do at the hackathon. Right now, we're all good. So until we get to the point where we have to do anything about it, we're gonna leave it alone.
And likely, I think likely it's just a matter of the people using the system want to get all the information together, so they really don't care about it, but they're just trying to come up with some systems.
The clinician putting information in.
That, yes, I guess that's it. I think I think the idea was likely that you have to sign off on it.
Yeah. That's more of a long-term thing. Any other questions?